My subject, rhetoric, is the oldest of the liberal arts. In our teaching and research, my colleagues and I explore how human beings use verbal and visual languages and the human body to create and share meaning in the social world. If you've started reading the pickup, you may have discovered that the novel raises some interesting issues about communication and the creation and sharing of meaning in human relationships. Let me highlight a few of them, the kinds of issues we might discuss in an undergraduate class that had been assigned to read the novel. And then you can perhaps discover others as you continue with your own reading. One fundamental question that this novel raises is, how do we speak and listen across cultural differences? That's a very big question for the world we live in today, and the subject of intercultural communication is a rich and exciting area of study in my field. The main characters, Julie and Abdu, struggle to decipher one another from the very beginning of their relationship. Of course, all romantic relationships begin with a getting-to-know-you stage. That's exciting, but also awkward and confusing. But the language difference between Julie and Abdu seems at times to magnify their awkwardness and confusion. Julie and Abdu are keenly aware that even their most ordinary conversations are layered with multiple levels of meaning. They choose their words very strategically so that they say exactly what they mean. They analyze each other's words very carefully so that they are sure to understand what the other person is trying to say. The hard work they put into what we might consider the most ordinary conversations suggests that it's not easy to build and maintain a romantic relationship with someone from a different cultural background, especially when those cultural differences also involve language differences and power differences. Sometimes Julie and Abdu can't or don't use words, either because they don't know the right words or because no words can adequately express what they're trying to say. But still, they manage to communicate through posture, a smile, eye contact, or the lack thereof, or tears. They reveal who they are and what they're thinking and feeling. They use their bodies to create and share meaning. This novel is a fertile text for the study of nonverbal communication. In addition to body language, it asks us to consider how the spaces we occupy and the objects that surround us communicate things like class status, cultural values, personal values, and the like. Believe it or not, there's a whole body of research on object language. In the pickup, at the very beginning of the story, Abdu's living in a sparsely furnished room in the city. The room has no style, no personality. It contains mostly cardboard. It says nothing at all about Abdu, because as an illegal immigrant, he has no identity. Julie also lives in the city in a refurbished outhouse. It's sunny and comfortable, though far from neat. There's clutter all over the place. This choice of a living space speaks of rebellion and perhaps confusion. It sends the message that Julie may not know who she really is. Julie's father and stepmother, on the other hand, live in a very spacious, neat, and comfortably furnished home in the suburbs. It's like they've constructed an alternative, trouble-free world for themselves, far removed from issues like immigration and poverty. But when Abdu goes to visit them with Julie, immigration and poverty literally cross their doorstep and come into their home. These are just a few of the communication issues that can be explored through a reading of the pickup. You'll likely discover others as you continue with your own reading. I look forward to discussing them with you in greater detail over the summer. But if I don't get to meet you when you come to campus, you are most welcome to give me a call or stop by my office to talk about these issues, the novel, or anything else that I've raised here that may be of interest to you. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy your reading and have a wonderful summer.